So I'm in Connecticut waiting for them to fix my tires because I had a tire blowout on my way here. But let me tell y'all about this incident that happened to me at a truck stop yesterday. I finally ran into a truck driver who was just a Karen through and through in the wild. Basically what happened is this dude's an owner-operator, and he was at the TA in Wellington, Connecticut, because that's where I had to stop for the night just so I could sleep and get a shower and all of that. But this grown-ass man, acted like a 2-year-old child because it took them 8 hours to fix his tire and get some new studs on his tires or whatever. And with the truck stop, it takes a while because you got to coordinate that with the trucking company that you work for. And even when you're an owner operator, you have to get that all coordinated between your trucking company and the truck stop that they're having to do the repairs. But this man acted like a full blown ass Karen to the people behind the counter, and it's like they ain't doing nothing but their jobs. Calm down, dude. And then not only that, but somebody from the same company that he worked for came to pick up the load so they can get the load on time because apparently this load was just a just-in-time load, meaning you can't be late or you can't be early with the load. But they get their supervisor on the phone. The supervisor from their trucking company is yelling at the folks at the TA and acting like a whole bunch of Karens, and I'm like, you know what? This dude's in here for a busted tire. You know how much trouble a truck driver can get in for driving around with a fucked up tire and he gets caught. You talking about 30 points on your driver's license for CDL. We call that CSA points. You're talking about 30 points on your driver's license that take 3 years to go away. And you talking about a really, really expensive ticket. Like if you're driving, like how much is a ticket if you drive with a flat tire in a car? Like $100 or so. In a truck, you looking at like a $600, $700, $800 ticket, depending on where you get caught with that. But this man seriously acted like a whole ass Karen. Just yelling at them the whole time, oh, I want to speak to your manager. I'm going to report this location to corporate, just the whole 9 yards. And if it wasn't for the fact that this was a bigger dude and he would have whooped my ass, I would have sat up there and told him, dude, I would have sat up there and said, okay, Karen. But like I said, I wasn't trying to get my ass whooped by this dude. But I just wanted to tell y'all about that because it was just as funny as it was. I felt so bad for those folks at the TA. I mean, I actually had to go in to get some lights fixed on the trailer because they weren't working right. But I pretty much talked to the folks behind the counter, and I'm like, yeah, that guy had no business talking to y'all like that. And then the guy turned around and talked about, oh, the repair that y'all doing is easy. I could have did it myself. And I'm sitting here looking at him like, dude, if it was that easy, why don't you get the parts and fix it yourself instead of bitching and moaning and treating the folks at the truck stop like they're dirt? Why don't you fix it yourself? But his repair bill turned out to fix that tire and the 2 studs turned out to be like $630 or so. And at first he ain't want to pay. He sat up there not wanting to pay it. But eventually they talked him down. The company decided to pay for it for him because his card kept getting declined when he tried to pay for it by himself. So what he does is he throws the EFS check in their face and gave him the wrong money code, and they couldn't process the check. And he didn't even tell them that he was going to go out there and swap the load with the other driver, because that's what he did. Didn't say nothing for them. They almost called the state police on this dude because this dude's temper tantrum, and then they thought he was finna drive away with $630 of repairs on his truck, and he ain't pay. But he ended up coming back. They talked to the actual trucking company itself. They actually paid for this man's repairs, and he was able to go. But this man, all I can say is, I mean, I'm not quite sure what the male version of a Karen was, because it's due because a Karen, as y'all know if y'all follow the memes, is basically mostly a white woman who's some of them are racist. This dude was like Ethiopian or some kind of East African, so he looked like he was Ethiopian or something like that. And but he had the same entitlement. The whole I need your corporate number, I'm gonna put your location. Just overall just bitching at these people for shit that they had no control over. And he was like whining about how it took him 8 hours to do a repair that was so easy. But it's like, dude, whenever you're getting a truck repaired, even if you're whether you're a company driver, a lease purchaser, or an owner operator, and you're shipping another company's load, yeah, you got to go through that company. So there's a bunch of hoops you got to go through in order to get that repair done. And even if the company's got to pay for it for you, there's a couple hoops you got to go through. It is what it is. And depending on how bad the repair is, yeah, it can take 8 hours in your entire shift. And that's when it's nice when the company sends another driver to take the load to make sure it gets on time, because like I said, that ticket for your tire being messed up and you driving is almost as much as a rent payment. You don't want that. So, but yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys about that. And I know some people will refer to a male Karen as a Kevin, but if you really go on r/tales about Kevin, it's really about a dude who does stuff that's dumb as fuck, rather than being an entitled baby of a grown ass person. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there.